I recently came out with a video about a manga called Jump All-Stars Battle. It's a manga about a bunch of different Shonen Jump characters fighting against each other in a tournament. From what I was told on Reddit, the manga is independently published, so it isn't an official product of Shonen Jump, but it should still be a very interesting read with the characters that it has. As you can see from the title and background, Light Yagami, Yamcha, Arale, and Kenshiro are here, as well as two characters I don't know.
Who are you people?
These are the characters who fought and completed their fights in Chapter 1, which is what this video is about. The first round of this tournament was Light from Death Note versus Unibrow Man, known to some people as Kankichi Ryotsu. He's from a gag manga called Kochi Kame. I'm sure many of you have wondered what it would be like if Light got into a fight with another fictional character, and if his Death Note would work on characters like Goku. Well, it looks like we're getting to see that in this manga, since a bunch of strong characters, including Goku himself, are participating. Luckily for Light, the announcer gave away every contestant's name at the beginning, so there won't be a problem of Light not knowing the opponent's name. Though, unfortunately for Light, it seems everyone knows what his Death Note does. Or at least his first opponent did. But if the others didn't, they know now since he just used it in front of everybody. This should give Light a massive disadvantage, considering he's just a normal human, so any of the superpowered characters should be able to easily defeat him before he manages to write their name down. Of course, this manga clearly isn't meant to be taken seriously, and from what I gathered from the first chapter, it's more of a lighthearted comedy rather than a serious tournament, so Light may still have a chance. So let's answer the question I put in the title. Does the Death Note work on gag characters? Well, the answer this manga gave us is kind of. He was actually able to kill the Unibrowed Man, but not permanently, as the guy just got back up with a halo over his head. So he was killed, but that didn't matter because he was a gag character. I assume something like that has happened to him before in his manga, but I don't know for sure since I haven't read it. However, Light was able to repeatedly kill him over and over again, making his unibrow hit the floor too many times to count, until he was finally too tired to stand up again. Due to not being able to get back up within the allotted time, Light Yagami was the victor. So in this particular case, in this particular manga, written by this particular person, the Death Note was able to beat a gag character. So there is your answer. The next fight was between Kenshiro from Fist of the North Star and a weird-looking thing called Lucky Man. Which reminds me, I still need to finish the Fist of the North Star. Feel free to encourage me or berate me in the comment section to try to get my lazy ass to start reading it again. Kenshiro is definitely one of the most badass protagonists of any manga. However, I'm sad to say this fight did not portray that. Kenshiro got his ass whipped. Yes, Kenshiro unfortunately got beaten by the weird Munchkin Man. Kenshiro isn't the only thing that just lost, though. We just lost the opportunity to see a fight between him and Jotaro, who was also in the tournament. I don't know anything about the guy who beat him, so I can't say if the outcome makes sense or not, but either way, I'm disappointed since not only do I not know this strange creature, his power's kind of boring as well. As his name suggests, Lucky Man's power is to be extremely lucky, and due to this luck he was able to pull a win. The translations I read seemed to be kind of questionable, so I'm not 100% sure what happened. But from what I can gather, Kenshiro's hokuto shinken only made him power up instead of defeating him. And when Lucky Man retaliated, he accidentally performed hokuto shinken and hit all of Kenshiro's pressure points, which made blood squirt out of him, putting down the disappointment for good. The last sanctioned fight of this chapter was between Yamcha from Dragon Ball and Arale from Dr. Slump. They may be from different series, but they technically share one universe, as Goku actually visited Penguin Village where Arale lives when he was a kid, and we later see Arale appear in Dragon Ball Super. Even though they share the same universe, they don't share the same rules, as Arale is a gag character, while Yamcha's more of a joke. If you know both characters, you should know Yamcha doesn't stand a chance. However, Yamcha doesn't actually know who Arale is, so he just thought she was your run-of-the-mill, somewhat strange-looking child. Yamcha tried to intimidate Arale by breaking a concrete wall, but his intimidation tactic didn't work, as Arale just thought it was cool and said she could do it too. She then punched the ground, splitting the entire planet in half in typical gag fashion. Yamcha quickly realized he was in over his head, but Arale didn't give him much time to think, as she quickly kicked him into the air and hit him with a mouth laser. Yamcha actually managed to survive this attack, and not get knocked out of bounds, although he was pretty banged up. He fired back with his Spirit Ball attack, which he first used on this very tournament stage against God himself. Yes, that's right. Yamcha is a being capable of going against God. He was able to land a hit on Arale, knocking her head off. If you don't know who Arale is, you might think this is a problem for her, but it really isn't, since she's an android that gets her head knocked off all of the time. She just put it right back on and charged Yamcha. Yamcha, being the proud man he is, decided instead of embarrassing the poor girl by easily defeating her, he would instead beg for his worthless life. It seems Yamcha may actually be more lucky than Lucky Man, as right before Arale steamrolled him, she stopped dead in her tracks and fell over, giving Yamcha the victory. I'm not sure exactly what happened since I haven't read Dr. Slump, but her loss had something to do with her robotic bottle A that Arale's creator Senbei started drinking after he got drunk. Yamcha's luck didn't last long though, as out of nowhere he was slapped right into his death pose by the creepiest looking man baby I've ever seen. I don't know who this man baby is, but he brutally insulted Yamcha after taking him down, and it looks like he's out for blood. That's where this chapter ends. Hopefully the rest of the chapters get translated, and if they do, I'll probably make a video analyzing and talking about the fights. Goku and Saitama will be fighting each other in the first round, and that's probably the most hype fight in the entire tournament. I am lazy though. Maybe if you give this video a like, I'll be more inclined to make videos on the upcoming chapters. If you subscribe, the chances of you being notified to said videos are much higher. Join me, become Weeaboo, and take over the world.